The heartbeat of the San Francisco 49ers are both coming back. How we can expect Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel coming back after the bye week and how they're going to rally the boys and turn this season around. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Ryan Tigey, back in action once again. Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, it goes much, much further than just two guys on the offensive side of the ball. I think as we've all seen in these last 3-game losing streak, which has been absolute dog shit, it's a hot fire on both sides of the ball, although I would still say that the offense has been playing better than the defense. But when we look around and see how the team was pre-Deebo injury / Trent Williams injury, they technically both got injured in the same game against the fucking Cleveland Browns, and what that meant to this football team moving forward. And we can see, if anybody with two eyes can see, that those two boys are missed. Not only are they just one of the best players in their respective positions, they are both captains on this team, which doesn't get talked about a whole lot because they got the C on the chest and it's just like, yeah, it's a vote. But they are seen in that locker room as leaders. And not just one of them, but two captains have been out, which is something I think doesn't get talked about enough because of the fact that is an important role and their leadership affects the entire team, not just the offense. So when those boys come back, I think this season is going to get turned around, and it's going to get turned around fast. When we take a look at what has happened, so Deebo got hurt on like the second play, his first touch in the Cleveland Browns game, and then Trent Williams got his ankle all fucked up that same game, but he didn't come out because we were going against Myles Garrett, and he didn't want Jalen Moore have to come in from the bench and take on arguably the best, at least this year, defensive ends. I mean, just a massive body, a massive freak. So Trent Williams sucked it up, got a shot, spatted his cleats up, and then came back in. But he was hurt. And it was visible that he was hurt essentially for the majority of that game. So when you look at those games following the Cleveland Browns, there is a notable absence in physicality, playing with any type of urgency. They do more than just what they've been told on their position. Example, we know Deebo sets the tone. Because he's so physical and he's built like a tank, he goes and dominates defenders. When most wide receivers avoid contact, he seeks it, just like Kittle. Another thing that is dramatically affected our offense is because Deebo is not really a player that can be replaced. You visibly notice it on the offense. So yes, Ray-Ray McCloud has came in and tried to step up in the absence of Deebo Samuel, but really defenses they're not attacking our offense the same way they would had Deebo been on the field. And that's been pretty clear. So having him back, being able to set the tone, rally the boys by laying hat on one of those first offensive strikes, it's going to be something that is very much needed and will provide more urgency and get the whole team going and get them going early. Big Trent Williams. You want to talk about the best left tackle in the NFL. So, of course, someone who's the best in their position at the NFL, which is already a 1% of the 1% of the 1%, it's no surprise that, he has missed. Now, Jalen Moore has held his own for the most part, but he ain't Trent Williams, obviously. So when you go ahead and look at the last 2 weeks with Trent Williams being completely out of the game versus the first 5 weeks when Trent Williams was in the game, and you see a massive difference. When we look at some of the stats, you have to understand that the entire Kyle Shanahan offense is predicated off the run. The entire offense. If he could, he would run the ball 40 times. Anytime he gets the opportunity to run the ball, he loves toting that rock. So with that is a huge piece being the left tackle, Trent Williams. And when we just purely looking at runs to the running back, there's some interesting that sticks out. So in the last 2 weeks, which have both been L's, we've rushed to the left side 14 times. So that's an average of 7 rush attempts on the left side per game. They have combined those 14 total rushes for 28 yards, 2 yards per carry, and zero explosive. Explosives is rushes 10 plus yards. Now, if we go back and look when Trent Williams is in, they have rushed to his side 60 times for 309 yards, 5.2 yards a carry, and 8 explosives. So that is an average of 12 times a game in those first 5 weeks. We have ran to Trent's side. And of course, you see the results that come from it. So they have essentially cut the number of attempts to the left side in half. That is a big, big, big deal. And it is going to be absolutely crucial that we're going to get that going. Because you have to understand, when we're doing 14 rushes for 28 total yards, that's the opposing defense stopping the rush. And then we're backed up a little further, becomes 3rd and 8. 3rd and 9, and then Shanahan's got to draw up, obviously, probably a crosser route over the middle to Ayuk, who's maybe in double coverage, but it limits the flow of our offense. The right side of the line, not nearly as good as the left side of the line of Banks and Trent Williams when healthy. So I think having Trent Williams come back and the way he goes about his business of fucking dominating offensive line and being able to get to the second level to seal off a linebacker or take down a safety, that's a big deal. So that alone, just in terms of running the ball, is going to be a massive upside having Trent Williams back. And again, it shouldn't be that crazy insight to people because he is the best in the NFL at left tackle. That is why they pay the big boys the big bucks. So I cannot wait. And that doesn't even remotely talk about on passing downs, the blocking protection there. Pretty clear as fucking day that they are not holding the line nearly as well as they need to. And part of that, again, is tied into the run because they're stopping the run so the D-line can pin their ears back and go attack the quarterback. And then Brock Purdy has pressure in his face we just keep falling behind. When we look at it just from team stats in general, prior to Deebo Samuel getting hurt, and I put Trent Williams in that same category, the same game, we put up 17 points the past 3 weeks. Every game, 17 points. And in the prior weeks, with both those boys in there, we put up 30. There is a direct correlation. Getting both these guys back is going to have a massive swing in momentum on our side, which will naturally bleed into the defense, and we'll be off and running back into the dominance level of the NFL like we were the first 5 weeks. Like, subscribe, hit me up. See you next time, y'all. Peace.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrum.